represent deep trauma.
I'm not a complete idiot. Watch this.
Against people. Have we got beyond that? How many people? Yeah.
Finally. You can't even. I like to see the boys over here put some suits on and walk around and get in the minds of the men that he's reenacting the Civil War. Watch how he twists this up. This is beautiful.
When you're out there and you're in your uniform and you see the flags, is there a connection to the past? Is that what hinges?
Listen carefully.
If you're interested in history, it's 10 times better than reading about it in a book. So I guess it gives you a greater appreciation of your forebears.
You gentlemen get some suits on and go fight.
Is that appreciation
Reenactment.
by the fact that they were fighting for their cause, for the states that were
Good. This one's pretty
You
good.
got to get into the mind of the 19th century mind, or get into the 18th century mind. It's really hard to do.
gotta
You
go.
have to do a lot of reading.
The library is full of reading about why people decided that it was worth fighting and dying to
Right
own
on.
people. And
Kudos
stuff.
to you boys
And
coming
again,
out there. You're men. I don't want to fuck with nobody's head.
That's a
You
big
guys,
topic. That's a big
Pretty
topic.
big. It's pretty big.
That's a big topic.
well, if you didn't own slaves, it's not such a big topic.
Do you think, does that for you factor in at all how we should view these monuments in the present day, given the fact that there's a
Watch
large
and listen,
population
listen.
of Americans who those monuments represent? They're so humanist, they're not being human.
So do we squash it? Do we rewrite history? If you don't have some type of proof, then in a generation from now, you'll have people arguing it, and it may just vanish.
Well, considering that
repeat
for a great
itself
number of
forever.
people in this country, those things represent deep trauma and great violence.
You got to bring it out.
Haven't we got
Boo, bring it
beyond
out.
How many
Have
people?
we?
Yeah. Well,
Right.
how many people
Have
living
we?
in America today were slaves? How many people living in America
We're slaves
today
now.
own slaves? It's roughly
2023.
zero. So we should have got beyond
But
that.
we don't have, I'll take myself for example, we don't have our last name, we don't have our religion, we don't have this tongue. I'm speaking with English.
This
Well,
language
then
is
go
not
Google
my
it or
language.
YouTube, whatever they got to do.
But you
Ancestry.
benefit- but you
Change your name, motherfucker.
benefit.
Everybody in America has a benefit. It's the greatest country in the world.
Land of the free, home of the brave used to be.
Slavery, correct?
Everybody living in America.
What do you say? I'm live with you guys now.
Country in the world.
But not everyone has a benefit from slavery, correct?
Everybody living in America today has a great benefit.
We got politicians with little kids locked up in the
The
basement.
great opportunity.
The people of African descent in this country, people who were descendants of slaves, what benefit did they get from slavery?
What happened to the Indians? What about the Indians? The white man raped and pillaged this world.
What's
Ruin
amazing is
everything.
you get such a sense of place. Like this could be any town, every town, USA, but you're kind of surrounded and inundated with.
I got mad respect, much love for everybody. But, don't forget the Indians because we all came over here.
How do we grapple with that? How do
Ruin
we
it.
grapple the pretty and nice with the ugly underbelly?
There's as much division as ever in some ways because history means different things to different people. There is a lack of consideration of how this might make us as Americans feel, as Black Americans feel. There seems to be this.
What about me? You got me up in here.
On the idea that we can't do away with history.
Yeah.
Not history.
But
But you're not telling the true history. Coming up, my conversation with a descendant of the President of the Confederacy, Jefferson Davis. That's ahead when Stone Goes in the South continues after this.
Every day, more dog people and more vets are just
When I got it up. That's how angry I am with it. One time, one world. Love one another. I ain't racist. I hate everybody equally.
electrically compelling with a
Not racist. I hate everybody equally. Sorry, you gotta prove yourself to be something worth a fucking. Want to be my nigga? Let's ride or die, son. What you know about that, pimp? Sorry. You LGBTQ thing and all that. Much love, but stop spreading some. But stop pushing the envelope, kid.
He's so creepy.
I'd like to see Sitting Bull and Coach's Last Stand, all that stuff, and then the slavery thing, the whole everything, the Civil War, the Nazis. Put it back in the history books.
Heritage lives in the bloodline.
Don't make it all about black because it fucks it up. That's how we get retarded.
Heritage lives in the blood.
We about to get Hoodie Rat. We got.
For many, heritage lives in the bloodline. We reached out to the great-great-grandson of Jefferson Davis. He's trying to reclaim his family's legacy
Heritage
from
lives in
those
the
who see
bloodline.
Davis as
I
a
don't
hero
repeat
of
it.
white supremacy. The night before our meeting, we slept in the Vicksburg home of Joseph Davis, Jefferson's brother and mentor.
You say you're a Davis descendant in Mississippi, and you better be ready. It brings responsibility. People are assuming you're going to be a Davis. Somebody asked me why I don't dress up like him.
Hayes Davis still holds on to artifacts from his great-great-grandfather, a book he signed, a letter he sent, a chair he sat in. Is there more resonance with something that you own than something in a public square somewhere?
To me, yes, absolutely.
It's your family, irregardless, and you gotta love or hate, right?
A
Right?
Confederate monument or a statue, when those folks put that up, had reverence to them.
Only thing we can't do is change our family, I'm pretty sure.
Reconcile or wrestle with the dual narrative
Remember that.
of Jefferson Davis. One that we've all heard is the first and only president of the Confederacy. On the other hand, there are 52 years of his life before the Civil War.
I don't know if I reconcile them as much as I try to bring them together to have a complete understanding. And when we put that 4 years of his life, which is 5% in total perspective, is it what it is that we want to remember, or do we want to have a complete understanding of the entire 81 years of his
Oh,
life?
God
That 4
forbid.
years, pretty big 4 years, right?
Pretty big 4 years because it was the most dramatic part of American history.
We're
in a
simple
lot of respects.
people.
But he led that country as a
We learn
position
from our
that he was
mistakes.
appointed to.
Keep them flags flying on both sides, all
If
sides.
we're dealing in the facts,
Bring every flag you got and put them all together.
He supported the expansion of slavery even before the Civil War and before he became president of the Confederacy.
If you make it go away, it will come back eventually. So nip it in the butt as quick as you can. That's the real deal, Holyfield, right there, player.
What bothers me the most
At
is
50, I talk true,
the
believe me.
statements he made in reference to
I ain't
the
racist,
slaves
hate
were
everybody
his
equal.
own
I promise you
feeling
that.
about their status.
Love you like the cows come home.
Say that-
As long as you want to be loved.
But again, it's the lens of perspective.
Play fuck
of the
fuck and they
time
get along
and the
real
place
good.
that he lived in. It is not the most favorable aspect, but it is part of his character that we have to understand.
I have to wonder, are you welcomed in those groups that are so staunchly pro-Confederate that they don't want to see anything happen to any statues, they don't want any more plaques? Are you welcome in those spaces?
And the pro-Confederate folks, I would say that I'm probably not.
I would like to see
Before
the
we
statue
leave
stay
town,
myself.
maybe there's one more stop we should make if we really
put
want to
everybody on school
understand what
buses.
so many Southern whites rooted to the Confederacy. First, would you mind saying and spelling your first and last name for us?
That's
First name
bad.
Gordon, G-O-R-D-O-N.
bad.
My last name Cotton, C-O-T-T-O-N.
Watch the documentary. Tell me what you
There we
think.
go. So all this fuss
I think the
over
government is just
the
putting us
statue,
all against each other,
the
truth be
flag,
told.
Slavery. Is it time for us
Or
to
anybody.
move forward?
No, if we're going to move forward.
Because I got some black friends that rock that flag, believe it or not. Relatively proud of where their
What we're
origins.
going to keep and what we're going to
I stand corrected by saying that because I don't know that for sure.
That
So
these men
I'll
were
clarify
fighting
that
to
before I go.
maintain that system of slavery.
That wasn't
I'm a
all
rebel.
fighting for. They were fighting because our homes were invaded. The whole thing
From
was based on
Connecticut.
money. Most things.
not a racist way either.
Going back to the Charlotte, what happened in Charlottesville. Someone was killed,
Just-
someone was shot at, someone else was beaten up. Does it surprise you when you see that people are that virulent about their support and defense of Robert E. Lee and the rest?
Well, they're not the ones that started it. Defending it, yes, I can understand that. But they're not the ones that started it. Had the people not wanted to tear down a beautiful monument, it wouldn't have happened.
Perhaps they should be moved to somewhere where they can be respected.
Yes, I agree.
Not
I
in a
agree.
place of, public display where
Yeah,
it's the
put all the monuments and all the memorabilia in one big ass place.
If it happened right here, we commemorate it here.
What do you think of Jefferson?
Well, yeah, no, he, Well, if he died right there, he got killed, that's one
What
thing.
about, he was obviously someone who supported the expansion of slavery.
He's a little
Should
dog.
that diminish or tarnish his legacy at all?
No, because he wasn't the only one.
You can watch it on NBC, by the way. I know I'm over-living, sorry.
Going to a school named Jefferson Davis. They can destroy what they can, but they will never destroy the legend of the man.
They will if they tear everything down. They'll mash it right over. That'll be gone in 20 years. Smashed up. Be drones flying around. I'll be gone.
Certainly they were men of their time, but does that exactly what you said? Do we forgive them?
Leave what's where, everything where it is, leave it now and just fix it and just be done with it. Everything. I don't care whose side it was on.
You know, advocating for slavery and, you know, the inferiority of black people, and then say,
Motherfucker, black motherfuckers sold one to another. Are you kidding me? Fuck out of here.
Square.
Why'd he come over? What about Shaka Zulu? Why don't you read a documentary about that, player pimp? Talk about.
Can you imagine this filled with people and tear gas, police on horseback, batons, people being bloodied out here. But this is, you talk about history. And Alabama has played such a
Tough row. And they still,
infamous periods of violence.
they're still fighting the war. Don't get them twisted.
Of civil rights and progress.
I don't like anybody fighting on the war.
And so this place
It's not even good for a good cause.
It's significant
Because there ain't no war.
on one side of history because of Edmund Pettus, who was
LoveOneAnother.org.
Confederate soldier and leader and grand dragon.
That's mine. I made that up. Well, it's probably out there, but
With the fight for black civil rights.
Throughout this whole trip, we've heard people talking about history. You can't lose history. This is one of those cases where I think if someone says that, it
might
kind of
be.
makes sense to me a little
Right,
bit.
right, right.
I don't know.
if we don't show the bloodshed and the violence, it will repeat itself. We keep on watching Law and Order, killing babies and stealing and robbing women and raping them. Wonder why our society's all fucked up. Signing off. Sheeple.